Can't get into all the details, but to help Aaron achieve what he wanted, as well as the Packers, and hopefully, create a situation where it's kind of a win for both sides. And I can't really get into a lot of the specifics.
We just got a really significant update on Aaron Rodgers' future and the Aaron Rodgers situation, primarily in regards to what the Green Bay Packers' plans are, or what they hope the plans could be. And this one particular interview just told us everything we needed to know. And I can't believe it, because it wasn't like this last offseason. It wasn't like this 2 years ago. So we're going to get to it, man. Before we get to the content, make sure you drop a like, subscribe, and turn on our notifications to help the channel grow. If you want shorter versions of this content, make sure you check us out on our TikTok and on our Instagram page. And now that we get all that out of the way, work! So I've made almost $5,000 playing this game over the past couple months and posting my picks and selections onto my Instagram story for you guys to follow them. And the game that I'm obviously talking about is Prize Picks. Right now, when you use my promo code Mikerophone, they'll match up to $100 of your initial deposit with another $100. And it's been a lot of fun. I mean, yesterday I had Killian Hayes getting less than 21 points, rebounds, and assists. You went into the third quarter with 18, and he finished the game with 20.5. I can't tell you how euphoric that feeling was when I saw that I was able to make $210 off of a pick that came within 0.5 of not hitting. So if you want to check out Prize Picks, make sure you use my promo code Microphone for a free 100% deposit match up to $100. And follow me on Instagram if you want to follow my picks on Instagram. Mic check 1 2 1 2. What's going on, everybody? I'm excited, man, because I've been covering Aaron Rodgers offseason drama ever since my career began, ever since we created Microphone to begin with. And every offseason was a wild goose chase, followed by Aaron Rodgers eventually saying that he is going to extend or stay with the Green Bay Packers. This happened 2 years ago. This happened last year. No matter how likely it seemed that Aaron Rodgers would leave, despite moments like Davante Adams and Aaron Rodgers posting how it was going to be their last dance 2 years ago, that turned out to be only Davante Adams' last dance. Despite the fact that the Green Bay Packers had to trade his top wide receiver to the Las Vegas Raiders, despite the fact that the Denver Broncos were willing to give up multiple first-round picks for Aaron Rodgers last year, Aaron Rodgers would decide to return to the Green Bay Packers. There's been so many scenarios that it seemed like Aaron Rodgers was going to be on his way out, and ultimately, it never ended up happening. Well, this past year, it seemed like things were a little bit different. You see, this time it seems like there's some pieces in place that make a lot more sense that would link Aaron Rodgers to a brand new team. Primarily the fact that one team in particular, the New York Jets, have a lot of weapons on both their offense and their defense. Offensively, you guys already know, they crushed their draft this past year, drafting Garrett Wilson and Breece Hall, and on defense, they were able to draft Sauce Gardner. What's interesting is these three got together and did some sort of ceremonial burning of the cheese head that Sauce Gardner wore after the New York Jets were able to defeat the Green Bay Packers last year in some sort of ritual to try to get Aaron Rodgers to come over. I don't know. Check it out.
Well, hey, how would y'all feel if A-Rod was on the offense side of the ball, man? First of all, throwing you dots, handing you the ball off, throwing you them swing routes, them wheel routes.
They're going to open it up for me. So they're going to be scared of them. Boom, hand me off the ball. Be smooth. Super Bowl. That's easy.
Hey, how would you feel getting them dots?
Man, I just know it's going to be precise. It's the main thing I think about when I think about A-Rod, so gotta do it.
Hey, come on, hey, I need this touch, bro. I need the touch. I need the touch. Hey, I need your, I need the touch. The touch of the cheese. Hey, when it's going in, this motherfucker gonna turn the cheese sauce. Come on. Oh. Yeah. It's gone, man. It's gone, bro. Gone, man. Ain't nothing we can do. Look at the cheese, it's melting. It's turning to cheese sauce, bro. Look. It's turning into cheese sauce, though. Oh, bro, y'all see that? It really turned into cheese sauce, man. It ain't even there no more.
We should have got some s'mores.
I mean, it's clear that New York Jets players want Aaron Rodgers. Multiple members of the New York Jets were recruiting Aaron Rodgers. Zach Wilson, the current, the supposed starting quarterback for the New York Jets, doesn't even seem to mind that there's a chance that Aaron Rodgers is going to come in and take his job because he looked up to Aaron Rodgers as a kid, and he currently looks at Aaron Rodgers like a mentor. So I don't know, maybe there's a scenario that Aaron Rodgers comes in for the New York Jets, plays for about a year or two, and then the New York Jets are willing to give Zach Wilson another look. After all, Aaron Rodgers actually had to completely make over the way he throws the football when he got into the NFL. He had very unorthodox throwing mechanics in college, and that's something Zach Wilson could use some help on. Maybe this could save Zach Wilson. But those aren't the only links. You also have the fact that they have Nathaniel Hackett as the offensive coordinator. They hired him this offseason. And although that didn't work for the Denver Broncos last year, I clearly only hired Nathaniel Hackett because Aaron Rodgers thinks so fondly of him.
Yeah, I mean, look, that's the number one thing. There's nobody in the building that brings me more joy or is more fun to be around than Nathaniel Hackett. But he's become, such a close confidant and friend, besides a fantastic coach. Hack has been a really important part of our culture change and a part of our success on offense. I love him. Hope he doesn't go anywhere. Unless I do.
There's just so many avenues and so many links to the New York Jets, and it makes way too much sense for the Jets not to trade for Aaron Rodgers. And that's before we get to the fact that Sauce Gardner said point blank that Aaron Rodgers is going to be a package deal with a lot of other players. And for one, I can't imagine Adam Thielen going to any other team than the team that Aaron Rodgers winds up on, as Adam Thielen is going to be a free agent this offseason because he was released today by the Minnesota Vikings. And I honestly think his playstyle and Aaron Rodgers' playstyle just would work together perfectly. But at this point, you might be thinking, okay, Mike, we don't want another speculative video. We know that you think it's a foregone conclusion that Aaron Rodgers is about to be traded to the New York Jets. So why are you making this video? Well, originally, we did also provide some motivation for the Green Bay Packers to make this trade. Primarily the fact that Jordan Love's rookie scale contract is about to expire. Remember, Jordan Love was drafted in the 2020 NFL Draft. My man sat behind Aaron Rodgers for 3 straight years waiting for his opportunity, and it didn't really bother him to do so. He was getting paid a first-round pick salary for 3 straight years just to sit and watch and learn. And now that he's entering year 4, you really don't have any choice but to play him. Because what do you do after year 4? Do you extend a 5th-year option to Jordan Love after he's on the bench for a 4th straight year? No. You want to figure out whether he's worth extending that 5th-year option for. And then you need to decide whether you want to sign him to a contract extension, or you could bust the New York Giants for one really good year because you believe in his potential. With that being said, there's been multiple interviews with Mark Murphy, but before we get to the interviews with Mark Murphy, it's important to pay attention to what Ian Rappaport thinks about the situation with Aaron Rodgers. This is what he had to say on the Pat McAfee show today.
If he is going to go someplace, I believe it would be the Jets, they're the only team that has permission to talk to him, the only team he's met with. Retirement is still a possibility. And if anyone would leave $60 million on the table, it is him.
Now here is where things get spicy. This is where it gets juicy. This is a clear indicator that the Green Bay Packers are done with Aaron Rodgers. They made their decision. They're moving on from him. Check this out. Mark Murphy had multiple interviews, one with Adriana Torres and one being with WCWF. I'd say the second part is going to be a little bit more significant than the first part. So check this out. They asked him multiple questions about Aaron Rodgers' future, such as,
very few players play for only one team, and obviously Brett had a great career, Aaron had a great career here, and regardless of what happens, Aaron will be in the Pro Football Hall of Fame, he'll be in our Hall of Fame, and we'll bring him back, he'll retire his number. And this is just one of the things that you go through as a team, and again, we want to try to achieve something that's good for both Aaron and us.
So I want you to know this entire video isn't just based off of that brief interview clip. There's multiple, and we're starting out with this. This is just an idea of where the Packers are. He's already speaking fondly about Aaron Rodgers, saying that they appreciate what Aaron Rodgers did. No player spends his entire career with one team. We're trying to do something that's good for Aaron and good for us. That doesn't sound like a team that's about to keep Aaron Rodgers now, does it? It's very clear that the Packers are looking to move on from him. But wait, there's more.
Do you think that all of this will be resolved in the next few days? Of course, that March 15th New Year deadline is what everyone has in their back of their mind.
Yeah, I think ideally for everybody would be to have this resolved before the start of free agency in March 15th.
Because you see that Mark Murphy is putting a deadline as to when you could expect Aaron Rodgers' future to be certain and to be figured out. And for the most part, it's going to be within the next week. This isn't really a surprise. I mean, if you're editing this video, if you're working for me, I think I've warned every single person and even warned you guys, hey, be careful. Within the next 5 days, any day before NFL free agency, we're going to see Aaron Rodgers get traded. Why? Because teams want to know where they stand following this trade. The New York Jets need to know if they have salary cap space to add other free agents. Aaron Rodgers has to begin recruiting other players. The Green Bay Packers have to figure out how they could build the best team possible around Jordan Love. That starts in free agency.
Does this Packers organization believe that Jordan Love could be the face of the franchise, the future, the starting QB for this team?
Yeah, we have a lot of confidence in him. I think, we drafted him and developed him. A lot of credit goes to our coaches, and to Jordan. But we do think he's ready.
If there's any indicator that it looks like the Green Bay Packers are going to move on from Aaron Rodgers, there's that. There's also the fact that Mark Murphy's going to tell us point blank that that's their plan in the future, which we're going to bring to you in just a second. But you might be wondering, Mike, if this is the case, then why on earth hasn't a trade happened yet? Well, apparently the reason why there hasn't been a trade for Aaron Rodgers yet is because the Packers are seeking a first-round pick for Aaron Rodgers, and they may want another pick in addition to the first if he plays again next season.
Packers are looking for a 1, and they want something else if he plays longer. We want your 1. If he plays 2 years, we want a 3, or we want a 2. We want a conditional pick to go along with what we have.
Which is also kind of interesting because we're also getting reports that there's already a deal in place for Aaron Rodgers. But I think the one part of this video that is the most significant has to be what Mark Murphy said on WCWF, when he implied straight up that the Packers don't want Aaron Rodgers back. Listen.
We did give him permission, but I really can't get into the details, and just we're really hopeful that we can reach a resolution that works not only for Aaron but for us.
So the first 8 seconds of that clearly indicates that they're moving on from Aaron Rodgers. They want to do something that is good for Aaron Rodgers' career and also good for the Green Bay Packers. But if that didn't sell you, well, listen to this.
Is there a scenario where Aaron is still the starting quarterback of the Packers next season?
Yeah. I mean, if things don't work out the way we would want them, yeah. He's obviously a great player and 4-time MVP, and but I think it's trying to find what he wants and what we want, and hopefully we can find a win-win situation.
So there you have it. Aaron Rodgers is not going to be a Green Bay Packer next year. It seems like he has to choose between retirement and giving the New York Jets a chance. Considering the fact that he'd have to leave $60 million on the table if he retired, there's only really one possibility at this point, and that's joining the New York Jets. So let me know if you're a Green Bay Packer fan, how do you feel about this? How do you feel about Aaron Rodgers potentially not being your starter next year? It seems very certain at this point. I'd like to hear what you have to say. Aside from that, I'm your boy Mike. I'm dropping our mic until our next upload.